going to get some game sounds. Hear what's going down in Chinatown. Let's jump in, and on that tabletop we can see an early push on towards A. InFamouS have actually done a great job there, managing to secure that. And now, make sure that's the right way around. There we go. Dignitas obviously on the right-hand side of your screens for the US, and on the Russian side we do see InFamouS. Let's jump in then on those squads and see exactly what InFamouS have done to secure just that A side. I was about to say the A and B side, but B has just changed hands. Dignitas managed to secure that one. Frantic at the helm. Is Frantic going to be running the same as before? Is he running the engineer class? That is a question I need an answer to. Wait for him to spawn, we will see. As Dignitas actually almost full squad wipe. Dracaeus and Sneaky still standing up. Frantic is still running that CZ. And obviously, after such a monumental, I believe he was 17 for 7 in that first map. He's obviously just trying to kind of play off that success, but after such a delay, I don't know if he's got that momentum anymore. He started so strongly, but after such a long delay, he's going to be perhaps, you know, warmed back down. So right now the tickets are pretty level. InFamouS just a fraction behind, 132 to 138. Melisium is going to have to back away from that one. Try and dive into the depths of that site. This is a position we see a lot of players adopting when they kind of get the engineer to destroy this corner. And that enables him to have a complete perfect view over on towards that B site. Nice play from Melisium there. And now let's see what on earth is going on. InFamouS have sent out a little scouting party. It was just Jera and his teammate Kremer. And it's good to see the Ace-23 in Jera's hands. Not going to go 0 for 9 this time. See on that scoreboard, no one's really shining particularly brightly at the moment. 121 to 125. And the A site is going to have a little bit of an altercation. It forces Dignitas to throw 4 players at it. The random respawns obviously kind of contributing to that. But right now, Walu is on the prowl on A. Trying to keep this site secure. Oopsie daisy. See what Frantic's got for us in this middle area. This is a great push from Dignitas. They need to kind of pull it out now, though. They need to stop that bleed. B and C are still under InFamouS control. And Frantic missing shots he shouldn't with that Magnum, trying to stave off this assault on towards A, but InFamouS are spawning in on it. But great defensive play there from Dignitas keeps A flying their flag. They've actually managed to bring back C there. Just a question of numbers, as we did see 3 players from InFamouS start trying to push A, and that was greed right there. That was greed from InFamouS. They had that BC hold, but they wanted more. They tried to take A, and it's cost them a trip cap. Right now, bleeding away. Watch those tickets fall from InFamouS now. Such a lead that they managed to maintain just for that, just by holding B and C, and straight away greed got to them, and they're going to be forced to recover from a trip cap, which is all it's done is leveled those tickets back out to be only 2 tickets within it. Right now, Jera hasn't moved. Obviously, Jera has been given kind of assigned the task, keep B safe, Jera, and he's doing just that. Not just quite enough, though. ACW of Jerk gets 1. Quickly going to be put in his place by Tony, though. And yet, once again, we're seeing a 2v2 now on B. Previously, InFamouS came out on top of this one. Looks like it's going to be the same case again as Sneaky goes down. Dignitas almost fully squad wiped yet again. Very, very interesting from InFamouS. Obviously, they're trying to battle off. They bring back a trip cap of their own, but that random respawn is going to take away A from them. Unless Melisium is feeling cocky. Might just be. Nope. He's going to play the waiting game. Going to try and take down, lower the numbers. Dracaeus does go down. Melisium is in a prime position to charge in. He's going to get caught, though, by Sneaky. And now BC is the hold that InFamouS have maintained. Now, let's see if they can keep hold of this one. This is where they got greedy last time. This is where they were like, okay, we've got B and C. Let's go for A. And they threw 3 or 4 players over towards that A site, and it really cost them. It cost them their lead. They've managed to bring it back now. They've managed to get that lead back. They managed to get about a 30-ticket lead now up against Dignitas on this map number 2. Nice positioning from Jera. He's going to try and catch off one player. The spot makes him well aware of Sneaky's rotation, but it still doesn't give him the frag. Great play. Somehow, despite his position and whereabouts being well and truly known, Sneaky came out on top with the Ace-23. Still, right now, A site is starting to change hands. Melisium for InFamouS is the man with the plan right now, as Walu and the Dignitas side are starting to send in players. Elysium goes down. While the man to slay the dragon. And now the A flag is going to be changing hands yet again. And finally, after around kind of about 2 minutes, we're going to see Dignitas staving off the bleed. Kremmer on the prowl yet again. Great pick onto Jerk. Couldn't see much of him, but it was enough. And now Kremmer mounting the tank, looking to keep this B flag from falling into the wrong hands. Not going to succeed, though. 91 to 56. InFamouS in the lead as Tony is in a very stealthy position. That's someone that doesn't want an altercation. He doesn't want to fight Frantic. He knows to fear Frantic, and rightfully so. The man's on 9 frags already. Frantic on the run with that CZ. This is that close quarters where the... Oh, I was about to say where the CZ should reign supreme. It didn't. The double from Elysium is a fantastic play individually, but it's also going to bring that B flag back under control. B and C now. Firmly in InFamouS's hands, and let's see if they can keep hold of this one. This is looking good for Dignitas, because if they get too greedy here, they're going to be kind of ruling out the positioning of Kremmer, and Kremmer's managed to sneak all the way around. The random respawn was a bit of a gift, positioned him in a position where he could start capping A. See who's coming to challenge him. There are 2 Dignitas players, looking for him, and I don't think Kremmer's looking to face. Kremmer quite happy to just be a presence right now. He's keeping 2 players. I'll make it 1 now. Completely preoccupied. Right now, Dignitas are being forced to just wait. They're waiting to deal with that A. Finally, he goes down. But that is an incredible play. In fact, he didn't. Oh, I'm telling a horrible porky pie. Kremmer is still on A. The patience has paid off. He took down Jerk. And now, the greed has been absolutely perfectly played. I take it back. Oh, I take it all back. InFamouS, they've done it. They did it wrong before. Sneaky has opened the door, but can he continue? Looking for the second as well. No, he cannot. 88 to 16. And that was such a sweet execution there from Kremmer. He was very patient, and it did pay off. Right now, Elysium, the man who did some serious work at A, is now on that B flag, hanging out in the shrubbery. 9 tickets remain in this first half on map number 2. First map went Dignitas' way, and right now it's looking like it's going to be going InFamouS here on the first half. It's all coming up InFamouS, 86 to 4. Just watching those remaining tickets tick away, and there's nothing they can do. They cannot stave this bleed right now. There it is. 85 is the magic number for that first half, and InFamouS have come back fighting. They knew that they had a bumpy time on that first map. They knew it was Dignitas' choice. Paracel was the map selection of Dignitas. And InFamouS chose Zavod, and it's really shining through in the scores right now. Scores on the doors are great. Look at that. Kremmer, 17 for 6. Benny, 14 alongside Elysium. And, I mean, only 1 player getting into the double figures. And I see that as a real marker. Obviously, Frantic, the kind of frag king. But 17 to 6 is a scoreline. I think that's almost exactly the score. I think it was 17 to 7. Yeah, Frantic on Paracel Storm got 17 for 7, and here we see Kremmer doing exactly the same job as Frantic on the opposing team, getting 17 and 6. So technically, by 1 death, Kremmer wins in this completely fake competition that I've just created. But we're going to be going into the second half. And, I mean, 86 tickets. I think it's possible we're going to be seeing that third map. That map is, of course, Golmond Railway. And if we do this kind of compare and contrast, let's think about it. So, map 1, Paracel Storm. Involved a lot of destruction, involved very nice Dignitas strategy. They obviously had it planned out. They knew how they were going to approach that one. Dignitas win. Zavod, 86 ticket lead currently. I'm not going to rule out a comeback, because it certainly is a possibility, and if anyone was going to do it, it would be Dignitas. And now we will see exactly where this goes in this first half. In the second half, sorry. And see if we're going to be seeing Golmond Railway. So before I start speculating about that, let's see how this one ends up. We'll see if Dignitas do make a comeback. They have that 86 ticket deficit they have to consider. So take that away. They have 86 tickets removed from their starting 150. It's a pretty tough mountain to climb. I know I don't envy them right now. We'll see what InFamouS can do to rub salt into the current Dignitas wound. Kremmer, a man who was very, very strong in that first half. 17 frags in the 150 tickets. Not a bad start. Still, let's follow the main man, then the star player, and see what he was doing right. He was great presence at A last time. He's heading straight for that middle area. I can only assume we're going to be seeing the same thing again as he's going hungry for first blood. Look at this route. He's going to find someone, and that someone is Frantic. He's got the CZ out, and it was a real mirror image there. Perfect play as Frantic comes out that, and actually just get taken down. It was Walu, sorry, on the defensive A. And Frantic's made a move for C. So right now, as the dust starts to settle, we're going to see InFamouS picking up C and perhaps A. They do, yeah. AC hold. It's a messy one. It's not that easy to keep hold of because you have to spread your numbers a little thin somewhere, and they're spreading them thin at A. Right now, they're forced to send all of their players now over towards that site. But look at this, Jera! Jera's come up huge for his team. He's taken down 2 of the assaulting players from Dignitas and with the revive as well. And Jera just grabs hold of his team and pulls them back into the game. Fantastic work from him. 143 now to 136. As InFamouS have started very, very strongly here. They do not want to let this lead slip away from them, and rightfully so. They want to see that third map. They got completely destroyed in the first... the second half of the first map, and they're looking to do the same here. A repeat, perhaps, this time for the opposite side. InFamouS watching that bleed tick away. Surely not going to be taking A as well. They're not going to. They're just going to watch that go back into Dignitas control, and this is where hopefully we're going to see a controlled InFamouS. Last time they did kind of make a couple of poor decisions regarding the assault towards A. Right now, just playing it very, very smartly. They don't need to go in for these. They're very happy to force Dignitas to come to them, and Jera is doing just that. Look at this position. He's just going to angle himself to come behind. He's going to try and have the element of surprise here on the assault towards C. He doesn't need to, as his team quite definitely will be there to defend. Look at that positioning. Just misses out. Surely going to be dropping down to with the element of surprise. His teammates done all the work for him, and still the bleed continues. 37 tickets now in favor of InFamouS, and you have to consider that number 100 is dangerously close to 86. Around 20 tickets or so remain now for Team Dignitas. Oh, not great. Tony running around now with that AEK in hand. Is he going to continue, though? This is a weapon which can thrive in this environment alongside the CZ, and he doesn't for once. Oh my lord, the Ace 23 reigns supreme, especially in the hands of Sneaky. And 96, only 10 tickets away from going into map number 3. InFamouS are making Zavod their own, as Dignitas did on Paracel Storm. And that AC hold cannot be dealt with. This is such a really tough one to keep hold of because of the issue. I tend to see that BC being preferred, but going for A, and it's kind of working. Credit to Kremer, though. The man hasn't. I mean, he was very mobile in the first half, very good at pushing. He was very much an offensive player. This time he's been dropped into a defensive role, keeping A secure. And you can see just wiggling around, positioning himself, waiting for the 1v1, and oh, Drakeus, a millimeter of health. And he does actually go down to Melisium. He probably just blew on him or threw a bullet at him. Sees that game end. Fantastic work there from InFamouS. So, map number 3, it's on the cards. We thought it might just happen, and it has. Goldman Railway is the decider here in round of 16. Second round of this Cup 4 for ESL One Battlefield. And I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where this one's going to go. I was trying to kind of compare. I was trying to draw off the two maps and say, well, there's similarities in Paracel Storm and Railway, but there's also, it's kind of a Zavod map with the fact that, you know, you've got that C flag is essentially A. I mean, it's the same. Look at the map, this flag's positioning. Zavod, it's exactly the same, except B is C, A is B, and blah, 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 blah. This structure should favor InFamouS. They were the ones who came out on Zavod. This strikes me as a map that just can be, it does have such similarities to Zavod. We'll see. It does obviously open the door to the Dignitas destruction. Let's see what classes they're using. I'm just going to wait for Value and Frantic. Wait to see what classes they're going to be running, because I can only hope we're going to see that Tri-Engineer again. They did it before. It worked wonders before. And I think they're changing sides. So live on restart here, guys, on Goldman Railway. And I do think we're going to see some Dignitas magic yet again. Obviously, this has been the decider. It means both teams feel comfortable on it. Both teams decided they didn't want to remove it. And they weren't too fussed about playing it first. So this is perhaps going to be an environment where both teams clash equally. We saw, you know, both teams winning their home map. And that's, I mean, there's no surprise there. Both teams favor a map and both teams successfully took it. But here, this is going to be, I mean, it quite literally is the decider. It's going to prove which team in this current format is better. I think there's no other way to describe it. And look at this. I said try. I said 3. I think we're seeing 4. Dignitas heard me, you know, as I was saying, oh yeah, I've never seen 3 at the start. We're looking at 4 right now, guys. And the man who started it was frantic. I want to see if he can do it again. Gee, he's not running his end. Who's going to start us off? I can't work out where this is going to go. See if I can maneuver it and see if we can watch the destruction as it happens. For the Dignitas side. Keep an eye on those blue triangles, guys. And there comes the destruction. Rockets through the buildings. They're going to open it up. Try and get some destruction. And oh, they lay down the law. 4 players from InFamouS immediately removed from the map. Oh my god. What? InFamouS are just reeling from that. Dignitas have started with some force. As now the dust starts to settle and that BC hold has begun. I cannot believe it! Whoa! Dignitas, they've got some serious tricks up their sleeve. Oh, that needs to be highlighted. I want to watch that again and again and again. Fantastic work from them, and it's gonna force them into the lead. InFamouS, they just crippled them. Well, sorry, were completely crippled. I mean, that is fantastic from Dignitas. On the back of that, though, they have responded with an AC hold. Frantic surely going to make that short-lived. Going to try and get some building destruction done while he waits. Aiming for the window, looking to open that up. You can see how little of the building remains right now for Frantic, or from his point of view. As the entire A house has been almost completely leveled. He's going for another one, is he? No, he's going to be coming up to destroy, surely, around that C flag. Have a little look in that middle area. We see Benny playing the waiting game. Forced to the back foot and they've only foregone 10 tickets so far. Unbelievable. And this is a tough one. Right now, 138 to 120. Walu goes down in that middle area, and that's going to open the door for a C push. No, Melisium's got his eyes on it. You can see it's just going to be edging around. And the thing that has to be noted about Dignitas is that they haven't changed their classes. You know, they've kept the engineer class. I thought perhaps we were going to see, you know, the initial engineers then switch back. But right now, they are sticking. They're looking for those close quarters and combat, and they're going to fall through it, actually. Frantic does go down after taking down the enemy with him. I believe it was Melisium. 129 to 117 now. That B flag looking to change hands yet again. The man behind it is Jera, the man with the plan. Does get one, can't get the second as well. That's a CZ in Jera's hands as well, so you see a lot of engineer classes being picked up here. This kind of demonstrates, it sets the pace for the game. As soon as you see those engineer classes, as soon as you see those CZ3A1s, you know it's going to be close. You know it's going to be kind of tooth-to-tooth battle. None of this split and pick, none of this slow, you know, asterisk-style play where you sit up here with an LMG. Oh no, these guys are going to be up in each other's grill right now. And Tony looking to pick one up now with the AEK, charging over the building, or what's left of it. Going to try and catch one off guard. He can't quite make it happen, and that should have really been a frag. And now he's on the back foot, looking to land the hipfire. Does, and this is going to open up that A flag now. Looking to keep it perhaps under control. He's going to try and relinquish it. He does. He's removed it from Dignitas' hands. And he's brought it under InFamouS control. Great individual play there from Tony. His squad spawned in on him, and that's perhaps going to cause a bit of a... perhaps going to catalyze this B push. Jera is the only man on the scene so far. He knows he's tried trouble with this in the past. Nades coming in towards his location, but he's just going to maneuver through them. And he has successfully put a... Well, thought it was going to be a trip cap, but flexibility means it's only going to be the 2, but that's enough. Trying to stop the bleed as soon as possible. Kremer with the hipfire isn't going to successfully keep B under control. And with a bit of flexibility and a bit of bouncing back and forth, we can actually see the AC hold in favor of InFamouS in this one. Obviously, this is the first half, guys, so both teams desperate. We see how much of an influence that first half has. Any sort of ticket deficit really closes out games. So far, every team that got the initial lead has continued on to then win the map. On Animate's side, we saw them win the first half of Dawn and Lankang, and here it's been split back and forth. 95 to 94. These teams are so evenly matched. And you have to consider InFamouS last time, you know, over on Paracel Storm, I was saying these teams are evenly matched, but then Dignitas stepped it up a gear. I can only assume we're going to be seeing a repeat of that. No, we know Dignitas have it in them. They have that ability to step it up when it matters. And on the third map, it really is starting to get into that situation. It's going to be real tooth and nail battle to get anywhere towards any of these sites, except Jera is getting away with this. And I'm not sure, I only have to click that Dracaeus. Very poor positioning. He wasn't kind of high enough to get the spots, so all that was poor positioning. There was no reason to be there, and I'm not sure what exactly he's going for here. Let's leave Dracaeus to his games while we do see a trip cap coming in for InFamouS. I'm not sure what on earth he is doing, but right now he has done nothing but waste time finally coming in towards this flag. But I mean, it's too little too late right now. As long as he captures the flag, it's going to stop the trip cap, but I don't think that's going to stop the momentum right now. BC is going to go to Dignitas. Jera on the prowl to respond. He does just that. Look how little of that C building remains. Getting a full revive there on towards his teammate. 64 to 86. Dignitas starting to fall away after such a fantastic start. InFamouS have made that comeback, and that trip cap is exactly what they needed. That's what the doctor ordered. Random respawns for Dignitas is going to put them on the back foot, and with so little cover left, you can see they're just opting for anything that they can use as cover, as all of the buildings surrounding them have just got huge, monstrous holes in them. Not easy for them, having to kind of improvise for cover. And that's what I love about Battlefield. You can't make strategy around cover. You cannot strategize where you're going to sit, what you're going to do, because you have to adapt to how the enemy and yourselves manipulate the environment. It's fantastic to see. Right now, Kremer's going to jump over an RPG. Standard procedure here, as those ticket deficits getting a bit dangerous for Dignitas. Last bit of alliteration, dangerous Dignitas. Dog, dip, duck, dive. Kremer on the prowl. Oh, dearie me, he's looking to pick up the Magnum hipfire. Not going to quite get it, but his teammate does. It was Jera to pick up the pieces of that one, and he, alongside his team, are going to try and question C. Not going to happen, though. InFamouS getting the spawns they needed, and that trip cap right back in InFamouS's face. Dignitas have stopped the bleed. They've got a big, thick bandage on, and they're looking to respond in force. Walu, for the first time this game, is sitting very, very still. He just has to wait. Oh, and the positioning was perfect, but he revealed his location a little too soon. He should have waited for that one. He does go down to the ACW, and now, oh, Jerk needs to stay alive. Every death matters right now for both teams. Obviously, InFamouS do have that slight bit of a padding. They have that kind of cushion, but they need to try and close this out. Dignitas, they need to bring them back to a level playing field, because right now that AC hold is just going to force that 30 lower and lower. Obviously, previous half, we did see Zavod 86 tickets in favor of InFamouS in that first half, and if anything close to that was to happen on this map, I think the winner would be clear, but right now, no such luck. 25 to 62. It's starting to seem that way, though. Dignitas, they can't work out a way into these sites. They can't fight. They can't quite work it out. Dracaeus is going for that 1v1. This is a 1v1 he has to win. We'll see what Kremer can do in response to that. Squads are spawning in on him, and that's perfect. Wise play there from InFamouS. Oh, and he gets the second as well. Kremer, he did just enough, just about enough to stop that assault, but Frantic was there, and he's going to surely get the revive. Let's go down. 60 to 13, though. It's just falling away from Dignitas right now. Need to see what they can do. A and B quite happily under InFamouS control still, and I don't know what they can do to answer. Right now, Dignitas, they're trying to send the 1v1 to C. That's wise, that's smart. Every single step that Dignitas take, InFamouS has already taken. 4 tickets remain. Looking like we're going to see that first half ticket precedent set around that 50 mark. There it is, it's 58.